Hey, all you really wild animals out there, have you ever wondered what's that alligator got to smile about? Where does a polar bear go when it gets tired of all that snow? How does a beaver get ready for winter? And how could a squirrel go to battle with a rattlesnake? Well, the answers are all ahead, so come on, step right up. It's National Geographic's Really Wild Animals. Amazing North America! All right. Hey, gang, spin's the name and rocking round the globe's the game. And boy, have I got one incredible continent for you. North America stretches so far and wide that you'll hardly find any place with more kinds of places to live. From the big cities to the swamplands. From the frozen north to the sizzling south. But there's one thing all these every which ways have in common. They're all way wild.
I feel the heat of the sun on my face and the wind at my back. I wanna howl at the midnight moon and run with the pack. I gotta be wild if I'm gonna survive. It's a fight to stay alive. Out on my own, I'm teeth, flesh and bone. I gotta be wild. Well, I'm on to your scent and I'm following close in your tracks. I'm driven by hunger. There's no turning back. I gotta be wild if I'm gonna survive. I gotta hunt to stay alive. Fall or fly, do or die. I gotta be wild. Wild. Spring is in the air. Hey, the world is waiting out there. Shaking off the snow. Let's go! I'm raising my young to be tough so they can make it through. Oh, don't try to change us, that's what we were born to do. We gotta be wild if we're gonna survive. Together we stay alive. Yes, we are strong, passing it on. We gotta be wild. We gotta be wild if we're gonna survive. Together we stay alive. Yes, I am strong, passing it on. I gotta be wild. Said I gotta be wild, wild.
Yeah! And where's the globe go for something really wild? Well, North America's over here, just north of South America, which is just south of North America, which is, well, it's right where I scratch when I have to think. This is North America. Mostly it's made of 3 countries. In the north there's Canada, in the south Mexico, and smack dab in the middle, the United States. That's where you'll find it, the wild, wild west. And from the Great Rocky Mountains on across to the Pacific coast, it's the same story all over. Spring is sprung, and new life is living it up. There are baby pronghorns and prairie dog pups, little coyotes and moose moms. Every ferret is out ferreting for food after the long, lean months of cold. But all you cowboys and cowgirls better watch out. There's one hombre that's way meaner than anything you've laid eyes on. And I mean anything. The squirrel. Ah! That's right. Ground squirrels are tougher than you think. And when it comes to defending her new pups, Ma Squirrel can be pretty fierce. She'd better be. 'Cause guess who's coming for dinner? Imagine if you were a poisonous rattlesnake. Imagine what it would be like to wake up from a deep sleep called hibernation that lasted for 5 months. Talk about hungry. Talk about cranky. Talk about scary. But Ma Squirrel can't just hightail it away from her burrow. Not with what's on this rattler's mind. Squirrel pups. Then again, the fact that the squirrel doesn't run just tips the snake off. It must be something pretty special that Ma Squirrel's protecting. Ma zips through another burrow hole she's dug and heads the snake off at the pass. It's a standoff. But what's a little mudslinging against a set of chompers like this? Yikes! Ow, she's been bitten. Oh. She's hurt. But there's no time to waste. She's got to seal off the tunnel and get back to her pups. Hang on, kiddos. One at a time, she has to carry them out of here. It isn't easy. The snake's venom is working its way through her system. Lucky thing, though, it won't kill her. Over time, ground squirrels have actually gotten used to the rattler's poison. Aside from a little swelling, that is. Ouch. But look out. The snake has steered clear of her roadblock. And now it's really worked up an appetite. Sorry, tough guy. But don't worry, you'll get your meal. Spring means there's plenty to go around. Speaking of which... Yes, spring fever has hit the Rocky Mountains. It's Meet the Beavers. It is a crisp May morning, and while out gnawing innocent trees for lunch, Mr. Beaver feels the unmistakable urge to take to the water. That's your cue, Bubba. Down he swims, and into the humble lodge he and Ma built by the sweat of their teeth. And it's a great big hello to Beatrice, but not so fast. First she gives her visitor a good sniffing down to make sure this beaver's the right beaver. And what's this? Spring has knocked on the beaver's door with a resounding thud. Born to Mr. and Mrs. Beaver are 4 bouncing baby beavers known as kits. Kit Schmidt says, Dad, quit hogging up my side of the lodge. We'll be back with more from the beavers, but now back to your regularly scheduled spring season still in progress. Well, remember those little pipsqueak squirrels? Now they're 5 weeks older and furrier, and they've had just about enough of laying low in case of rattlers. Suddenly, that strange shaft of light looks quite inviting. But the world above holds other dangers. A red-tailed hawk. She can see 8 times sharper than you can, and that makes squirrels on the ground easy pickings. Mom sends the alarm, and everyone takes cover. Whoops, almost everyone. Oh, close call. Yes, venturing out has its risks. But ask a squirrel to stay cooped indoors? Not a chance. All across North America, animals are just itching to get out and about come spring. Like in the east, for instance, over here. Whoa! Looks like some animal was so anxious to clear out, she ruined a roof. We interrupt this program for an important spring alert. Look out behind you. That means you. That's right. Your roofs are being raided by a hungry, masked intruder, alias the raccoon. Suspect last seen breaking and entering into nearby attics with her litter of cubs. But now that it's spring, her baby accomplices are busting out. Yes, sabotaging the shingles, prowling the back alleys.
Subject leaving house, proceeding west on Elm Street.
Living dangerously. What can you do? Be on the lookout. Guard that garbage. These critters are plenty crafty. Barricade that bird bath. They'll steal the water from right under your nose. Double check those chimneys. Those toddlers may look cute, but don't be fooled. They are cute. And when all else fails, who are you gonna call?
Triple Wildlife Control.
Raccoon Busters!
We're on our way.
Poor little cubs. But at least now they'll be returned to the wild, where they belong. Yes, raccoons are smooth enough to mix in just about anywhere, even in the big city. But if you see one, don't get too close. It's liable to bite you. The truth is, wild animals are better off with more space of their own. Ah, that's more like it. Yes, go west, young critter. Ha! Southwest, that is, along the Mexican border, to the Sonoran Desert. What's a desert? It's a super dry place. Ha! Rain? Not even now, in spring. But, believe it or not, there's still plenty of life here, thanks to a giant plant called the saguaro cactus. Just get a load of these whoppers. They can grow to be 50 feet high. That's way taller than a house. And that's just what animals use them for. In the spring, when birds are breeding, this joint is jumping, which means Gila woodpeckers are kept plenty busy making fresh holes to live in. No sooner has it dug its digs and settled down when the unthinkable is thunked. Whoa! Let's have an instant replay on that. It's a starling, of all the nerve, and it's stealing the woodpecker's place. dreadful. Turn your back for a second around here, and you're likely to lose your home. And why, you ask, are its peckings so popular? Well, inside the cactus, it's nice and cool for animals like this elf owl. So off the woodpecker goes to peck some more, until the saguaros begin to look like Swiss cheese. Green Swiss cheese, that is. Now, hold on here. I knew the Sonoran Desert was hot, but it's 105 degrees out here. Oh, ooh. Don't tell me. Oh, no. Summer? I mean, it's stifling. Sweltering, searing. But at least school is out.
Look who's moving in, making my summer home in a rooftop. Look who's moving in, I just might use a twig for a doorstop. You may think our house is weird, but me and my friends feel comfy here. Look who's moving in, call it home sweet home. Add a little mud and pack it hard. A lair that's all my own. A neighborhood pool with a big backyard. Some guys like an orchard place. It all comes down to a matter of taste. A cave full of roommates sharing space. Look who's moving in. A cozy den for the family. A little nest would be heavenly. Catch a word from me.
It cracks me up.
Look who's moving in. Some folks have a lot of nerve. Look who's moving in. Pardon me, but the space is reserved. Everyone needs their own little spot. Maybe welcome, maybe not. Look who's moving in. Oh, look who's moving in. Look who's moving in. Take a look who's moving in. Look who's moving in. Look at who's moving in. Who's moving in? Well, look at who's moving.
This portion of Really Wild Animals brought to you by Cactus Fruit. Are you hot? Are you hot and thirsty? Are you hot, thirsty and tired of swinging down the same old soda pop? Reach for a cactus fruit. It's beak-watering good. You can't climb that cactus. Well, heads up. We deliver. It's sweet, it's succulent, it's 100% saguaro. It also happens to be just about the only thing you're going to find to eat for miles around here. So join the picnic, eat a cactus fruit today. Or at least eat something that eats a cactus fruit today. I said today. Whew. Enough of this desert stuff. It's too darn dry. How about someplace steamier to sweat out your summer? The Okefenokee Swamp. A swamp is a place that's half land, half water, and all soggy. So, if you want to live here, you'd better count on getting wet. Or getting pretty high off the ground. Woodpeckers of the swamp have it just as hard as their cousins in the desert, but at least the red cockaded woodpecker has got one trick up its wings. It pokes a ring of holes all around the entrance to its nest. And this is not just any wood that Wood is picked to peck. It's packed with special resin, which comes in handy when it comes to uninvited company. Uh-oh. A corn snake. Ugh. Looks like you've got a guest for lunch. What's that? This guest has got your eggs for lunch? Not so fast. That special resin packed in the pine tree packs a punch. Ooh, it stings. Oh yes, do drop by again sometime. Another bad day for another North American snake. But wait. The day isn't over yet. Who's having who for lunch? Welcome to alligator country. They can be as heavy as 1,000 pounds. That's more than 4 refrigerators. They can grow to be as long as a car. A green scaly car? Yes, the gator is the largest reptile in all North America. So how do you get up close and personal with one? How about a little dip in its swamp water? Sound like fun? Well, that's just what biologist Kent Vliet has in mind. You see, if he really wants to get a gator's eye view of the world, he's got to get up to his eyebrows in them. Now, definitely don't try this at home, kids. Yes, it's feats like this that make Kent such a dedicated researcher. And feats like these, such a delicious appetizer.
We've had very few problems when I was swimming in the lake, but there's always the potential for an alligator getting a hold of you and doing some real damage. We got down into the water to better understand how alligators are talking to each other.
So what's an alligator got to say anyhow? Well, if it slaps its head, it's trying to show off how rough and tough it is. If it bellows, it may be to shimmy up to the opposite sex. And if it yawns, well, it's probably because somebody told a bad joke. Alligators seem to smile a lot, but they're not very good for laughs. It is nice that gators have each other to talk to because no one else likes to hang out with them. This red-bellied turtle is paying a visit to an alligator's nest, but it's not exactly to say hi. She's stopping by when nobody's home. That's because this happens to be one of the best guarded nests around, thanks to Margator. And as it turns out, that's just the kind of protection the turtle mother needs right now. Believe it or not, she slips her own eggs into the alligator nest for safekeeping. But if sneaking into the nest was risky, sneaking out can make a turtle shell-shocked. Good thing its shell is a real mouthful, even for a mouth such as this. And a few scars are a small price to pay for a free babysitter. Later, says the gator raider, And what's to become of her little hatchlings? Well, we'll return to find out. But first... back out west to the Rockies we go. For another episode, your favorite aquatic rodents meet the beavers. Summer has come to the whole beaver bunch. And today brings the kits to the great beyond. Their first foray outside. Good thing, because the lodge was beginning to smell. Suddenly, a summer thunderstorm? Oh no! Now the beaver's dam is broken. The whole pond they live in might just wash away. They better get their tails in gear. And Mom's tail is tailor-made for hightailing it. This is no time for a joyride, Mom exclaims. Get off my tail! We've got a dam to fix. This is no ordinary pond. The beavers actually created it themselves with this dam that they built. That way they could keep their lodge well protected. But without the dam, it's goodbye pond. So now, Mom rallies to the repair. And Dad, he stays home with the kits and eats. Is the dam done for? Will Dad stop eating? And what about the ducks? Meanwhile, back at the Okefenokee, remember those turtle eggs in the alligator nest? Well, now it's 9 weeks later in the heat of summer and the turtles have finally hatched. But could that be the cry of baby gators filling the air? Music to Ma Gator's ears. And good reason for the turtles to stay stashed. Someday these alligators will be something fierce, but now they stage the struggle of their lives, breaking free of an eggshell. There are around 30 in all, and one at a time, Mom must taxi them to the water. Those jaws that could crush a person are suddenly ever so gentle. But yeah, they still look like plain old jaws to the turtles. And no sooner does Ma turn her back than a couple of turtles make a break for it. Now, how is it that something so new to the world could somehow know that it's supposed to be scared of an alligator? Call it a wild guess. Whoa! And so it goes, one by one. The next generation takes to the water. For months, the little gators can count on Mom to look after them. And all the Okefenokee settles back to enjoy the long, hot summer. Ah, this is the life. What happened? Oh. I mean, this is summer. It's only 39 degrees. Yes, looks like we've moved up north, gang, to the tippy-top corner of Canada, way up north. It's Ellesmere Island. And the tundra. The tundra, that's a vast frozen land. I mean, nobody would want to live here. Except the white wolf, of course. And where there are white wolves, there are white wolf pups. Just look at the little fuzzballs, all cozy in their den. Summer is cold here, sure, but it's also never dark. This far north, the sun can be out all day and all night. So now's the pups' chance to check out the neighborhood. They're only weeks old, but someday they'll be ferocious hunters like their parents are. First, though, they'll have to learn all the tools of the tundra trade. How to chomp, how to chomp on your kid brother, how to give somebody the slip, whoop, how to get food, and most important, how to keep it. A game of tug of war might be with a feather for now, but it's good practice for the day when these little pups will have a nice juicy piece of meat to fight over. And it looks like that day is near. In wolf talk, that means, anybody hungry? Translation, how about some takeout? Even the pups pipe up. Come on, folks, get hunting! Musk oxen. They may not be pretty, but they are tasty and dangerous. These bruisers are 8 times heavier than a wolf. And when they huddle together, it's like trying to break through a line of football players. Time and again, the wolves try to split them up, to separate a calf out of the herd so they can gang up on it. Boy, it's hard work.
You had a little tough luck. You don't want to give up, but you're backing down. With a great big appetite and kids to feed tonight, you better gain some ground. When tomorrow comes around, you gotta try a little harder, search a little longer, run a little faster. To get what you want, you gotta jump a little higher, yeah, swim a little farther. You gotta dig a little deeper. To get what you want, to get what you want. It's a constant test, requiring your best again and again. If you're face to face in a dangerous place, gotta save your skin. When the enemy's closing in, you gotta try a little harder, search a little longer, run a little faster. To get what you want, you gotta jump a little higher, yeah, swim a little farther. You gotta dig a little deeper. To get what you want, to get what you want. Spread your wings, learn to fly. Autumn winds start to blow. Leaves are turning gold. Are you strong enough to go? Search a little longer, run a little faster. To get what you want, you gotta jump a little higher, yeah, swim a little farther. You gotta dig a little deeper. To get what you want, you gotta try a little harder, yeah, search a little longer, run a little faster. To get what you want.
Well, hang on, gang. The seasons are shifting again. It's autumn. And that means it's time to pop by a really popular spot to visit in North America. It's called Churchill. Who'd want to come to a place that's this cold in the fall? Well, how about I give you a hint? You remember your Uncle Irv? The one who always likes to drop by for a little visit but never seems to leave? Well, imagine if Uncle Irv were 10 feet tall and weighed 1,200 pounds. Imagine if every year he decided to visit you for, say, 8 weeks. Sounds to me like your Uncle Irv is a polar bear. And it also sounds like you've got the same kind of problem as the people in Churchill. You see, every year, dozens of polar bears spend their summer south of here. And to get back to their home way up in the Arctic, they have to pass through town. Unfortunately for Churchill.
I like to go out for walks and things, but it's awkward to carry a gun as well as carry the baby. Trying to look after him and worry about bears too, it was just impossible.
When you think about it, it's very nice of the bears to share Churchill with the people who live here. After all, the bears were here first. Still, while they are sharing, it's not exactly easy on everyone. Of course, precautions can be taken, like setting this trap. Believe it or not, this slab of bait is just finger food for polar bears. In fact, they're capable of eating 50 pounds of meat in one sitting. Hey, maybe the town should try a different approach. Welcome, polar bears, to glorious Churchill. Looking for fine dining during your stay? Well, don't settle for common fare. Come one, come all, gourmand and gourmet to our exquisite 5-star town dump. Classic cuisine, elegant decor, flambé garbage extraordinaire. An Epicurean extravaganza for the most discerning palate. The Churchill Town Dump, where the elite meet to forage. Well, the Polar Bear Patrol finally got one, and now it's let go unharmed just outside of town.
Go!
This is where the bears belong, after all, away from people. In the distant Arctic, they survive the harshest conditions you can imagine. Even the cubs take it in stride, and though you'd think they'd have it rough, they still manage to out-cute anything for miles around. For 2.5 years, they stick close with Mum, learning how to tough it out. Teddy bears do not make it out here. Meantime, somewhere deep in the middle of Polar Bearville, a group of scientists sets up camp and prepares for a very cagey experiment. Photographer David Heiser wants to snap a few pictures, nose to nose with a polar bear.
Okay, here he comes. Come on in, baby. That's good, easy, a little bit at a time. Get a good smell. That's it. Okay, things are getting hot and heavy here now. Uh-huh. Over me now, huh? Yeah, you'd really like in here, wouldn't you? Oh, there came a paw in. I was wondering when you're going to try that.
Well, you've seen polar bears in the zoo, right? But here it is, the world's first human zoo for polar bears. Feel that chill in the air? Well, before it gets much colder, let's you and me take a quick peek round the continent to see how our really wild friends are faring this fall. Down south, back at the Okefenokee, baby Big Mouth hardly needs Mom anymore for any gator aid. In fact, she's already a hunting machine. Of course, her prey is pretty pint-sized for now. Up north, back at Ellesmere Island, the white wolf pups have gotten nice and plump, thanks to all those musk oxen burgers they've been wolfing down. And they've also gotten full coats of fur. They'll need them. In the months to come, temperatures will plummet as low as 60 degrees below zero. But what happens to the white wolves come winter? Well, no human has ever stayed around to find out. But let's see now, who else are we forgetting here? Wow! And now let's roll on back to the Rockies for the rousing conclusion of Meet the Beavers! Time sure is running short for our heroes. Autumn is almost over, so branch by branch, busy as beavers, they gather bark. This is what they'll eat in the winter to come. and it'll stay nice and fresh as the water freezes over, just like food in your refrigerator. So all season long, the beavers can help themselves to barksicles. Because, that's right, it's winter! But even though it's way below freezing outside, you wouldn't know it. All toasty in the Beaver Lodge. Yes, why, it's a whopping 33 degrees in here. Yep, come winter, the beaver's just about the coziest animal in all North America, don't you think? Not really. There's another animal that knows how to stay even more snug, the black bear, which means the people back east have got more than raccoons to worry about. This mama bear and her cubs have got one cozy den where they can sleep out the winter. Actually, they don't hibernate the way you'd think. Mom just takes some really long bear naps. Too long if you ask the guy who owns this porch. For this cub, though, winter might just be unbearable. He's an orphan, and now he needs a new mom to take care of him. Hopefully the bear under the porch will adopt him into her family. Well, of course, the hard part is going to be convincing her. If she smells the cub's fur and catches a whiff of his real mom, she's liable to kill him. Good thing the game warden who's helping out has got a plan. He's rubbed a smelly cough medicine into the cub's fur to mask any odor. But will the new mother bear fall for the trick? Now, that's one heck of a nice mother bear. Thanks to her, winter won't be quite so rough on this little guy. And so another frost settles in. And so another year. Round and round it goes, season after season, as all life struggles to keep pace. What a wide and varied place North America is. But then, what other land could be home to so very many different creatures? Where else could you feel so welcome every season of the year?
I remember the new birth of springtime, warming into the sultry heat of the summer sun. Autumn winds blew the leaves that had settled on the meadows where creatures are free to run. A change has begun out of the warm and into the cold. I see the magic of winter unfold. Morning frost has awakened my senses. I welcome the gentle whisper of the wind. And once again, all of nature seems at its best here in the wilderness. Winter, I feel so alive as I run through your drifts of snow. Winter, let your mighty winds blow. Nature changes its scenes and its colors, every season painting a picture all its own. One is green and another is golden. Look again and the world is white with snow. And I must go out of the warm and into the cold with the brave and the bold. Winter, I feel so alive alive as I run through your drifts of snow. Winter, let your mighty winds blow. Winter, through all of your changing faces, I will still be here. Winter, winter, I feel so alive as I run through your drifts of snow. Winter, let your mighty winds blow. I'm talking to you, winter, through all of your changing faces, I'll still be here. Winter.
Well, gang, North America's been truly amazing. But there are lots more really wild animals all across this wonderful world of ours. So be sure to join me on our next adventure. Until then, this is your pal Spin. Spin you later.
Winter, I feel so alive